Why do wars occur among humans? A small part of it is to fight over land, like my Great Britain and Argentina. Oh, my Britain really wants to fiercely invade your Falkland Islands. But most of the time, it's to compete for energy resources. When you look through the history of modern warfare, you can see it between the Lindsay Avery pages written with the word energy. So much so that nowadays, when humans see energy resources, it's like a man who's been single for 20 years seeing sexy, beautiful skin, or like an Indian guy spotting a Bengal monitor lizard. But the funny thing is, while we're fighting tooth and nail on Earth over a bit of energy, right above us there's a nearly limitless wild nuclear fusion reactor, the sun, which releases enough energy in just 1 second to power humanity for 100,000 years. The amount we actually use is just a tiny speck to the sunlight, the tip of a hair on one of 9 oxen, while the vast majority is simply wasted. It's like being penniless on Wall Street. You know you're surrounded by money, but you can't use any of it. Isn't that frustrating? Given this situation, a guy named Freeman Dyson believed that when it comes to the sun's energy, we shouldn't settle for just a tiny portion, we should take it all. So, he proposed the concept of the Dyson Sphere. Simply put, it means building a hollow shell to completely enclose the sun. A project that could turn off the lights in the solar system is way more thrilling than tiling the Great Wall or putting guardrails along the Yellow River. Once it's done, we'd be able to make full use of all the energy from a star without wasting a bit. According to the Kardashev scale for classifying civilizations, a Type 1 civilization can fully harness the energy of a planet, a Type 2 civilization can fully harness the energy of a star, while humanity today is only at about 0.7 on that scale. As everyone knows, the capabilities of a civilization depend on how much power it can wield. A 0.7 level civilization can't do what a Type 2 civilization can. So the godlike feats in science fiction like warp drives, faster than light travel, space jumps, or stopping time are all beyond our reach. But with a Dyson Sphere, it would be different. Humanity would have nearly unlimited energy, and technology would advance rapidly. Then, when we look at those backward civilizations in the universe, there's a kind of untouched beauty about them. We'd be using stellar nuclear fusion power, while you're still using hydropower, thermal power, and wind power. No wonder you're lagging behind. However, as wonderful as a Dyson Sphere may seem, it also comes with significant problems. The sun accounts for 99.86% of the solar system's mass, while Earth and the other major planets together make up only 0.14%. So even if you dismantle the whole solar system, you still wouldn't have enough material to wrap around the sun. You'd probably have to go to the constellation of Palomar and borrow some materials from the Trisolarans. And since I have the ability to dismantle the solar system, why should I build a Dyson Sphere? Why would I still need to build a sphere? Such a massive project, even Wang Duoyu wouldn't dare invest in, is beyond human comprehension. Which do you think is harder, dismantling the solar system or building a Dyson Sphere? I have no idea. It's like Jack Ma asking me which is a better value, Thomson Riviera or Haijing No One. I'm just a Nobita, would I know? Even if we had enough materials to build a Dyson Sphere dismantling the planets one by one, and then transporting them to assemble around the snow, these preliminary steps would require an enormous amount of energy. So where would all that energy come from? It seems that if we want to build a Dyson Sphere, we'd need to have a Dyson Sphere to begin with. So, to sum it up, civilizations that need a Dyson Sphere can't build one, and those that can build a Dyson Sphere no longer need one. There's even a game called Dyson Sphere Program, and anyone who's played it knows that by the time you can actually build a Dyson Sphere in the game, you no longer have an energy shortage. Our human imagination is always based on our current reality. Right now, we can harness solar energy, so our idea of unlimited energy is simply to cover the sun with a giant shell. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like how people in ancient times only burned firewood, so their idea of unlimited energy was probably endless forests. No matter how much you burned, you'd never run out. They could never have imagined things like oil or natural gas. From this perspective, the Dyson Sphere might just be a low-level civilization's crude guess at what a higher-level civilization would do. It's like my humble self seeing how much traffic Lei Jun's short videos get and thinking, if only Lei Jun could put some ads in his videos, he'd make a fortune. But in reality, he wouldn't even bother with such small change. By the same logic, the way higher civilizations use energy is probably beyond our imagination as well. For all we know, to those alien elites, a Dyson Sphere isn't even for energy, it's just a flashy project to show off. Like, look, I can turn off a whole star system with a wave. Impressive, right? For them, building a Dyson Sphere might be as trivial as using a screen door to wipe your butt, a little display of ability. Or maybe Dyson Spheres are actually poverty alleviation projects from advanced civilizations to less developed ones. Hey, you lower-level civilizations, stop fighting among yourselves. Here, I'll install a Dyson Sphere for each of you. Focus on your own development. In our Milky Way, we value harmony and virtue. Let's not waste energy on internal strife. Of course, if a Dyson Sphere isn't feasible, some have proposed the concept of a Dyson swarm launching a massive number of solar panels that combine together and orbit the sun, which can also harness energy efficiently. Speaking of which, didn't we have an earlier episode where we talked about future space cities? We could cover the outer sides of ring-shaped space cities with solar panels, then connect several of these space cities together to orbit the sun. Wouldn't that be a habitable Dyson swarm? Now that we have a plan, someone named Wang Duoyu should come to the comments section and file a complaint against me. But regardless of whether a Dyson Sphere can ever be realized, It remains one of humanity's most precious products of imagination. Human imagination drives human progress, so no matter what you do, you should dare to dream and dare to act. For example, I dare to imagine that in the future I want Yifei to give me 8 children. How about